I could hear Agir saying, live on telephone, please don't take me, I'm too young, you can't take me, I'm too young. No mother should ever hear this ever again anywhere in the world. This can't be the last call that any mother gets from her child. This has to be the message, and children should be playing and home with their mothers and going to school and taking math classes and making TikToks like my Yagiri was doing all the time, his complete noise all the time. And living in the gym like always. They're children. They should be home.
I don't want to wish any mother to be in that condition, to see her son disappearing, to think about him alone, to do not know any details about him. I can't stand the thought that he's alone there. It's breaking me.
It's her 12-year-old Eres, who's same age as Iggy. We all live in the same small village, so we know each other. Everyone knows everyone's children. And Eres is being taken forcibly. You can tell, he's a little child. Being dragged by force by two men, grown men.
What would you say to those men now, and what appeal would you make to them?
I'm hoping that since they have mothers, apparently they're humans, and since they probably have children of their own, I'm hoping that they realize that they're holding children hostage and that they're treating them as children. And I'm hoping and praying that they will see them as children and take care of them and treat them as children. And I'm begging them to release them. Children should not be a part of this war game, and they should not be a bargain chip, and they should not be held hostage. Well, no one should be held hostage, but children should be released. There are 32 children held hostage, 16 out of which are from Noz, our village, from the age of 9 months to the age of 18. And all I want them to know is that we want our children back, and children should be home with their mothers. Children should not be victims of these circumstances and this conflict on both sides. Just let kids from Gaza go and find a safe place to be in, and let our kids free immediately. We want them home now.
I begged for the children. I tried to save them. I told them to leave the children, to take only me. But they didn't listen. They brought 2 motorcycles. They put Etan, my son is only 12, on the first motorcycle. Then we started driving through the kibbutz. I saw the kibbutz. He was burning everything, the houses, the cars, the trees. Nothing left. But what was very, very shocking was there was hundreds of terrorists in the kibbutz. They were burning, they were destroying. There was also children in my Etan age. They were also loot everything. They went out of the kibbutz with televisions, with everything they could take. It was so surrealistic. Very close to Gaza, 2 tanks have appeared and starting to drive wildly, and the terrorists started to run. Our motorcycle and we were falling, and this was the last time I saw Eitan. I saw his motorcycle entering Gaza. The terrorists took us to a small house that was near the road, pointing us a gun, told us not to move. But I heard the tank very, very close to us, so I ran away with my baby on my hands in the air near me. We were with pajamas, no shoes, no phone. I took my baby and my daughter, and we started to run through the fields. We went like this for 3 hours on the fields.
And Hamas has the opportunity now to show their humanity, to send the children home. I want my children back home. I want my child to ride his bike, a mountain bike. I want him to ride his horse. I want him to play football like a normal child. I want him to laugh and to hear his great humor and play ping pong and football. And I want my sweet, beautiful 16 years teenager girl to play the bass guitar, to listen to the music she loved, to buy her nice clothes and jewelry, and draw. She's artist, and the father is a carpenter.
Eitan is a very special boy. He loves football like many boys. He adores Manchester United. He was very sportive, but he was also very, very smart. He loves animals. He was very sensitive and emphatic to everyone. He believed in good in other people. I hope that when he will come back, he will still be able to believe in people and to see the good of them.
No, like Hadas said, I'm hoping Hamas will have the sense of humanity now, after what they've done, to release the children. There are 32 children held hostage, again from the age of 9 months to the age of 18. 32 children, 16 out of which are from Liraz. And every minute that passes by is a wound that will take years to heal.
We're not waking up at morning because we don't have nights. We think about them all times. We have nightmares at night. We think about them, what they are doing, if they are sleeping, if they are eating, if they are alive. So we don't have nights, no days. We can't eat. It's very hard to eat when you don't know if your son is eating. So life is a nightmare, continuous nightmare, but we don't know when it will.
Do you find yourself imagining where he is, what he's enduring?
I'm a little naive. I'm trying to think only positive. I don't want to expose to news and know more because I don't know. I don't want to know. I prefer to ignore and think only goods.
Well, you can't really escape the imagining where they are, presuming that they're alive. Mine's Yagil's 12 and Or's 16, and they were taken from their bedroom, from their safe place at home. And yes, I am imagining, I presume, well, I even hope that they're held in a tunnel somewhere, deep down in the ground, in tunnels that were already ready-made, waiting for this to occur. Without sunlight and held as prisoners, and their children should be with their mother. You can't sleep because you think whether they're sleeping. You can't eat because you think whether they're eating. You can't have a shower without thinking whether they're, what the hygienic conditions that they're in. Basically, our lives stopped on October 7th. And it's still on hold ever since. And you just try and imagine that, the last call I had from my son, who was 12, was on October 7th at 8:30 in the morning. That was the last time I heard from him. It's a kid that used to call me every 2 minutes and bother me in meetings at work. And, like a busy mother, I always used to say, stop bothering me and stop calling me. And now all I want is for him to call.
I think, if you ask how I feel, I'm in the bubble of a night, I'm in a bubble of terrifying. But I don't care about myself. I think about them. If I'm like that, what these children think? They don't know when it's going to be end. They don't know if they're going to see their parents again. I just want each one of you, and each one in the world, to try to imagine for 1 minute, your child, innocent child, helpless child, sensitive, sweet, young boy or girl, just disappeared in one day, disappeared from your life in cruelly way, been kept held in a deep tunnel without seeing the sun and the sky. No information, you don't know when it's going to be end, you don't know, just imagine it. And then you don't have to ask us what we feel. I want you to feel. I want you to go deep inside your heart and understand what should you do? Can you imagine this? Can you imagine? Each one of you have family and children. For 1 minute, try to imagine your child, helpless child, down there in monsters' hands. Okay? I don't know, merciless hands, okay? That's why it's so critical. The time is, we have to save them immediately. We have to release them from they are a victim of they can't be a victim of this war. They can't. I want you to feel it.
I think Palestinians are also held hostage. At least mothers are. And we're here as mothers, we're not politicians, and we're not generals, and I have no advice to neither sides as to what should be done. We just want our children back home with their mothers.
We're not political, we're not, no interest, we're just mothers. We talk as a mothers, from the heart of our heart to mother's heart. That's it. Nothing to do with politics. These children, and they have to be home.
Over here, there's been some differing reactions to what's happened on October the 7th. One of the things that's happened is that pro-Palestinian protesters have been tearing down posters of hostages, of child hostages. What do you feel about that kind of behaviour?
I think, in general, violence is the wrong way to live your life and the wrong way to raise your child. And whoever
Against any violence.
Whoever is doing this is practicing violence. I wish those people would look at the photos before they tear them, and as Hadas said, think of them as their own child, brother, sister, cousin. If it was the other way around, I wouldn't tear the posters. I would probably hang them by myself. So, we're peacemakers, which is naive, but this is the way I prefer to live my life, and this is the way I prefer to raise my children, believing that living in peace is the right way, everywhere.